Hi guys, this is Dr. Austin in Versailles State Park, Indiana. Welcome to my YouTube channel on the healing power of medicinal mushrooms. I've selected this site today because I found about 4 species of wonderful healing mushrooms in a small area. The first species we have here is Felina igniarius. This particular species is called the false tinder conch, is the common name. It has very strong antioxidant properties and can be used to halt the progression of multiple sclerosis. Here is a beautiful example, and then the undersurface is typically white. So this particular species in Indiana will grow on oak, and this is a fallen oak, otherwise I'd never be able to reach this particular specimen. It'd be up too high. In other areas in Alaska, it will grow on birch. In China, in particular, it will grow on poplar and mulberry and other species. But the wonderful healing specimen, what you do is you dry these for about 3 weeks, and you may sometimes need a instrument like a maul or a hammer or something to get the specimen off of the tree. But you dry it for 3 weeks, grind it down to powder and make a tea, and it has very, very strong properties against multiple sclerosis. It stops the inflammatory mediators that are promoting the demyelinization in the central nervous system and also peripheral nervous system. So I've seen it work, and I've seen it to a certain degree. It can even reverse some pre-existing neurologic changes. So wonderful healing mushroom, Felina igniarius. It can be differentiated from the related species Felina ramosus, which grows on locust. Felina ramosus has a dark pore surface, kind of a dark brown, whereas the Felina igniarius, when the conch is live, will have a white pore surface. Wonderful healing mushroom. Over here we have the brown Whittier fungus is the common name. This is a common ingredient in Chinese hot sour soup. It is sliced thinly, sauteed, and then cooked in the soup. Very strong anti-cancer properties, and like all mushrooms, it's an immunomodulator. It can strengthen the immune system. The Latin name is Auricularia judae, which the translation of that means Jew's ear, which I don't think is very nice to our Jewish friends. Over in this other area, we have a wonderful healing mushroom called Traumatize versicolor, also called Traumatize coriolis. Common name is turkey tail. Turkey tail is a wonderful healing mushroom, very beautiful. It's too hard, too tough to eat. It's not edible, but it's typically made into a tea, and it can be in various colors. I think it's important to look at the so typically it grows in little rosettes like this, so it can be differentiated from the false turkey tail by that pattern. And also if you look at the undersurface, you can barely see the pores. So some other related species, none of which are poisonous, have bigger pores, or the false turkey tail is more paper thin and does not grow in the rosettes. But absolutely beautiful mushroom. It boosts the immune system, very strong antiviral properties, particularly against the flu. So guys, take this stuff, dry it out, and make a tea. It takes 12 to 60 hours of boiling to extract the beta-glucans, which are the healing parts, the immunostimulating parts of this mushroom. So I often make a tea from this and drink it throughout the winter season to avoid getting the flu from my patients. And it helps you feel good. It's an immunostimulator. Studies have shown that women with breast cancer have who have taken this in a double-blind placebo-controlled study showed that they rebounded from the chemotherapy much faster than those who got placebo. So essentially, here's another example of a beautiful turkey tail specimen. And so essentially, it helps your white count rebound and helps stimulate your immune system. And it has anti-cancer properties on its own. There's some studies to suggest that it can be used for the blood-borne tumors to help as an adjunctive treatment, in particular against leukemia, lymphoma, and multiple myeloma. Here is another specimen called the oyster mushroom. So the oyster mushroom, the Latin name Pleurotus austriatus. This one's a little far gone. I'm not going to eat this one. But I discovered this mushroom because over time my blood pressure had been creeping up from unhealthy habits like we all get. And I started a prescription medication like I was trained to do. And I didn't like it. I got side effects from it. I didn't feel good. And then I found these studies to show that the oyster mushroom can lower blood pressure, lower blood glucose, and lower cholesterol. And my cholesterol is borderline, and so I switched to adding the oyster mushroom to my diet to stop the prescription medication, and my blood pressure's been fine. And I've been seeing that result in many patients. I had a family member who came to me with newly diagnosed diabetes, and they said, isn't there something we can do besides the prescription medication? So, diet and exercise, of course, is the first medicine. But part of the diet could include oyster mushrooms. And so he started that, and his blood sugar stabilized, and he's been fine since then. He did run out for a couple weeks. It did spike up to 200, but his hemoglobin A1C otherwise has been very good, 6.5. Very healing mushroom. The oyster mushroom also has the ability to lower cholesterol significantly. It can lower triglycerides. It can lower systolic blood pressure about 18 points. And this is based on some preliminary studies and also my clinical practice experience and my personal experience. It also has some protective effects against the liver. And it can help protect the liver against toxins, and it also can have a very strong anti-inflammatory effect. So here's the wonderful healing mushrooms. We saw about 4 species today, and thank you. Get out there in the woods and harvest your own medicinal mushrooms.